Hello and welcome to this video, and happy November to everyone. If you are a Swiftie, that means happy Evermore season. If you haven't listened to Evermore yet, then this is your sign to do so. It's perfect for the season and I just love it so much. I love this season. I am definitely a winter girly, and I know that might be a bit unusual. Usually everyone loves summertime, but I just love the winter. I love getting cozy inside, and I also love going for winter walks with my dog. So I'm just really happy that this season is upon us, even though I also cannot believe that we are in November of 2023 already, and soon it will be Christmas. It definitely gives me the opportunity to have the excuses to avoid my social obligations because the weather is bad and no one really wants to go out and do anything. And obviously I can get a lot of reading done in the winter time. So we are going to go through my November to be reads. There isn't a whole lot. I've got 3 on my list this month, and that's just because I don't want to overpromise anything, and I really like to do quite in-depth reviews. So if I keep the books to a manageable level, that just means that I can do better reviews. And so let's get into it. This month we have 2 biographies and 1 fiction book. I am just loving biographies and memoirs at the moment. I just read Matthew Perry's Friends, Lovers and the Big Terrible Thing, and it was so moving and so touching. And I know that a few other celebrities have come out this year or recently with a few of their memoirs as well. So I wanted to dive into those and get to know those people a bit more. So the first book that we are going to read this November is The Woman in Me by Britney Spears. What we got from the blurb was, in June 2021, the whole world was listening as Britney Spears spoke in open court. The impact of sharing her voice, her truth, was undeniable, and it changed the course of her life and the lives of countless others. The Woman in Me reveals for the first time her incredible journey and the strength at the core of one of the greatest performers in pop music history. Written with a remarkable candor and humour, Spears' groundbreaking book illuminates the enduring power of music and love and the importance of a woman telling her own story on her own terms at last. And at last, Britney has this opportunity to tell us her life story and how she got to where she is. I love getting inside the minds of celebrities, and so I'm just especially excited for this. I grew up with Britney Spears. I was a 90s baby, and so she's just been in my life forever since I was a child. And I absolutely love Britney. I love all of her music. I'm such a big fan. And so, yeah, I'm just really excited to get to know her a bit more and the things that she's been through, because she's such a huge pop star and she's been so successful. But we don't really know much about her. If you think about Britney Spears, you probably think of some of her music videos, and you probably think about her relationship with her children and that time that she shaved off all her hair. But apart from that, I don't have much of an insight from Britney herself, and I don't really know what makes her tick or what's going on in her head. So I have already read the first 9 chapters of Britney's memoir, and it is very engaging. The first 9 chapters, a lot happens. There's a lot about her upbringing, also her parents' upbringings. We go through her process of getting into the Mickey Mouse Club, and even within the first probably 20 to 25 pages, we hear about Christina Aguilera and also about Justin Timberlake. So I think we're going to get some gossip out of this. I have been trying to avoid the spoilers, although it's really hard to avoid, and I have seen a couple. but just makes me more intrigued, and I'm really interested to hear it from her perspective because, like I said, she hasn't had the opportunity before. And yeah, this is just a really exciting time for Brittany. I feel like everyone is reading this book at the moment. Everyone is going out and ordering and reading it. So I'm just super excited to finish it and to give you guys a review. On Goodreads at the moment, there are just over 45,000 ratings and nearly 7,000 reviews with an average score of 4.3. That's pretty good. 4.3 is really decent, especially for a memoir, I would say. So yeah, although obviously this book has been has had the help of a ghostwriter. From reading the first parts of this book, I think that we're still going to get the full story, and that it seems that Brittany has worked pretty closely with this writer. So I am just really excited. The second book that we are going to read this November is another biography, but this one is by Julia Fox, titled Down the Drain. I am too excited for this book. I have been a Julia Fox fan probably since just after the whole Kanye fiasco happened. Before then, I wasn't really a Julia Fox fan. I didn't really know much about her and I hadn't seen much about her, but I absolutely love her now. I honestly just can't get enough Julia Fox. I love her TikTok page. I love how outspoken she is about feminism, just how honest she is about her life anyway, even before this book. I feel like she was a really honest person. I love the TikTok that she did where she just showed us around her apartment. It's just so relatable, and I feel like Julia Fox now is one of the only real relatable celebrities left. And yeah, I hope that she'd be happy with me saying that. The blurb that we have for Down the Drain, I will read now. Julia Fox is famous for many things. Her captivating acting, such as her breakout role in the film Uncut Gems. I really loved that film, by the way. I thought she was great in it. Her trend-setting style, including bleached eyebrows, exaggerated eyeshadow, and cut-out dresses. Her mastery of social media, but all of these share the trait for which she is most famous, unabashedly and unapologetically being herself. This commitment to authenticity has never been more on display than in Down the Drain. Fox recounts her turbulent past to cultural supremacy, her parents' volatile relationship that divided her childhood between Italy and New York City and left her largely raising herself, a possessive and abusive drug-dealing boyfriend whose torment continued even from within Rikers Island, her own trips to jail, as well as to a psychiatric hospital, her work as a dominatrix that led to a complicated entanglement with a sugar daddy, a heroin addict that led to New Orleans trap houses, and that she would only kick after the fatal overdose of her best friend, her own near-lethal overdoses, and all the deaths of still more friends from drugs and suicide, an emotionally explosive, tabloid-dominating romance with a figure she dubs the artist, a whirlwind, short-lived marriage, and her trials as a single parent striving to support her young son. It seems amazing. I think Julia Fox has been through a lot in life, and I really look up to the woman that she's become and the kind of role model that she is. And so I'm really excited to get my teeth into this book and learn as much about her as possible. I love the promotions that she's doing for her book at the moment. She seems to be everywhere, and I just love that for her. I think, I mean, I've got really high expectations for this book, especially considering that Julia Fox herself called it a masterpiece. How could we possibly forget that? And also that she has written this herself. She has said that a few times. She hasn't used a ghostwriter, that she has written this with her own hand. And I think that that's probably not very often the case with memoirs these days. And so, yeah, I'm just really excited to get to know her writing style and the way that she structures a book. I know that this isn't the first book that she's written, but it's definitely the most high profile book that she's written. Yeah, I'm just super excited, and I'm probably even more excited to do the review of Down the Drain because I know that I'm just going to have so much to say. The third book that we're going to read this month is not a biography, don't worry, it is a fiction book, and it's been one that's been on my to-read list for quite a few months now. I think it came out this year in March, and it is called Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. I chose this book because I absolutely love stories around families and especially around sisters. I think that's because I have such a strong relationship with my own sister that I can relate to an awful lot of the themes and the topics discussed when a book focuses around sister relationships. For example, I absolutely loved the Eleanor Ferrante series of books. They really spoke to me, and so I've heard amazingly good things about this book. At the moment on Goodreads, it has 163,000 ratings and 16,000 reviews with an average score of 4.2. So pretty good. That's a lot of reviews, and yeah, I have not read any of the reviews yet to try and not spoil myself, but the premise of the book is an emotionally layered and engrossing story of a family that asks, can love make a broken person whole? Which I think just sounds like such an enticing premise anyway. William Waters grew up in a house silenced by tragedy, where his parents could hardly bear to look at him, much less love him. So it's relief when his skill on the basketball court earns him a scholarship to college far away from his childhood home. He soon meets Julia, a spirited and ambitious young woman who surprises William with her appreciation of his quiet steadiness. With Julia comes her family. She is inseparable from her three younger sisters. Sylvie, the dreamer, is happiest with her nose in a book and imagines a future different from the expected path of wife and mother. Cecilia, the family's artist, and Emmeline, who politely takes care of them all. Happily, the family fold Julia's new boyfriend into their loving, chaotic household. But then darkness from William's past surfaces, jeopardizing not only Julia's carefully orchestrated plans for the future, but the sisters' unshakable loyalty to one another. The result is a catastrophic family rift that changes their lives for generations. Will the loyalty that once rooted them be strong enough to draw them back together when it matters most? Now, I am kind of hoping that this book doesn't give me my first thought and my first prediction, which would be that Julia's new boyfriend sleeps or has an affair somehow with one of her sisters. That would be quite... I just wouldn't like that to happen. I would like there to be more depth to this, and I assume from the ratings that isn't going to happen. It seems too obvious. However, if it does happen, if that's the storyline, then obviously I will go with it and see what other themes and problems the book can bring up. I am really excited about it. It is supposed to be quite an emotional read, I think, or quite a deep book to read. So we will definitely see how it goes. So as I said, I have already begun with Britney Spears' memoir, and then I will move on to Julia Fox's before finishing with a fiction book, Hello Beautiful. As I said, I'm really excited to review them all, and I can't wait, honestly. I think I would expect my first review to be out in about a week, and yeah, I really hope that some of you will join me on reading some of these, especially the Britney Spears or the Julia Fox memoirs, because I know a lot of people are interested. So if you've read them, if you have thoughts, please comment down below. I love to chat with you guys. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.